the Dome over to the Poplar. We have a crash there, and eastbound 44, because of that earlier crash, is a solid jam from Jefferson in through the Arch grounds as well. Westbound 64, a little busy at the city limits. There's some slow stuff Lake St. Louis Boulevard out to 70. If you're on westbound Highway 70, west of Lake St. Louis out through 61, eastbound 70, east of Wright City into Forestdale. There's some backed up traffic. Eastbound 70 is also heavy from Earth City in toward the airport, and from Hanley in through Lucas Hunt, a lot of ballgame traffic. Southbound 170 bogs down at Delmar. 270 both ways between Ladue and Manchester are kind of busy. Southbound 55 north of Zeta McNutt in both directions approaching 67 are backed up. I'm Roger Brand at the Michael's Flooring Outlet.com Traffic Center.
News, traffic, and the latest on the Redbirds. This is the Redbird Rush Hour on KMOX.
Guys, welcome into Friday on the Redbird Rush Hour. Bernie Miklasz, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler hanging out with you here. We got a lot to do, man. The last series to wrap up the last homestand of the baseball season for the Cardinals. We got some college football to talk about today. In the coming weeks, actually coming days, probably starting next week, we could throw in some hockey too. The Blues are underway with training camp. So obviously with baseball wrapping up, we're going to be expanding the things that we're going to be talking about on a regular basis here on the Rush Hour. Fellas, happy Friday, man. How we doing?
Awesome. Great to be with you.
Yeah, doing good. Glad to be here. Good Friday show.
What's the vibe at the ballpark, Matt? I mean, obviously it's winding down. We know this is the last weekend. Anything stand out, or is it feel business as usual?
Business as usual.
Yeah.
That's nothing unique about this weekend. I think it feels very much the way it's felt recently.
Yeah, I mean, I've been at the ballpark a lot this year. Duh. I mean, all of us kind of get there as much as we can, but it's definitely a different vibe than in the past, Bern. It's, and it's not unexpected. We knew it was going to go this way, but it's pretty sedated.
Yeah, and the Cardinals have had, as you guys know, I mean, they've had 3 straight seasons before when they didn't make the playoffs, 2016, 17, and 18. But the crowds were still huge. Yeah. I mean, still huge. I mean, well over 3 million. But this is different. This was the protest season. The fans wanted to express their disappointment or frustration just by withholding their ticket money, but they continue to listen to Cardinals games at a large volume and continue to watch Cardinals games at a large volume. So they'll get through it. People are going to have to make up their own mind whether they agree with the rebuild. But, I happen to think that it's necessary.
TV ratings are actually up this year. So anybody who wants to tell you that, this is a boring team, an uninteresting team, nobody's paying attention. No, people are paying attention. More people are paying attention based off TV ratings. They're just not walking through the house.
Ratings are great here too on the radio side. And I think that just proves, guys, that what's happening is that nobody's quitting on the team. They just don't want to spend money on tickets for what they're unhappy about. And certainly it's up to the team to earn that back.
And, this is a time of year I really believe where, if you have a great show, you have a compelling team, a really good team that's entertaining, and it's playing for something that matters. That's a great form of entertainment. But absent that, the usual thing that we expected from the Cardinals for so long, people are going to find other things to do with their time. I mean, the Mizzou football program is great. The Illinois football program is great. The Blues are starting training camp. There's all kinds of things to do. The fall is when some really good times start to roll in the St. Louis area with Halloween and coming up and all these other things. I just think there are other ways to spend your time and your money. So the Cardinals have to find a way to get everybody back. That's always the challenge.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I find it interesting, and this is kind of what I wanted to do here. We've got time in the off season to start talking about what's next, and we've talked a lot about what's already happening. But I find it interesting, that it felt like, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe you guys feel differently, and you can go the other direction. It felt like people were more okay with the Blues going through the retool that Doug Armstrong talked about and kind of trying to get out of some, wait till some contracts pass and get from some veterans to some younger guys. And it got sped up a little bit last year because of the restricted free agent offers that they landed. And I don't know how this is going to go for the Cardinals, but do you guys think the same thing? Do you feel it the same way? And if so, why do you think that is?
Well, I'll just give a brief answer because I think it's pretty obvious. the Blues fans had pulled into a situation where I think they trusted ownership and management more than Cardinals fans trusted ownership and management, fair or otherwise.
Right.
And also, Doug Armstrong was very transparent and very upfront about his plan. Like he wasn't trying to be cute about it. He wasn't trying to do the head fake. He was very straightforward. This is the plan, and we ask for your patience, but we feel we have to do this, and we'll get through it, and everything will be better. So I really do think the Cardinals have had a messaging problem, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Armstrong's straight shooting is a big reason for that.
Agreed, 100%. I can't add much more onto that. I wonder if the Cardinals had it all over to do with this season specifically, if they wouldn't have messed around with the runway, the reset, the retool, just flat out said this organization is going through a rebuild and it's going to be a multi-year thing, and we don't know how quick it's going to be. Our goal is to get it back humming along, but that's where it's at. They wouldn't have sold less tickets if they would have said that, if they were worried about that.
You're right.
So I think the messaging could have been tweaked, and it didn't have to be a big change, because when you really looked at what they were saying, that's what they said. They just didn't say it directly. So more direct. And actually, I've talked to some people in the organization about some like business related type things when it comes to communication. And I do think there is an understanding that there needs to be direct communication on a number of things.
Yeah, I agree with you guys, and I don't think the difference in perception is wrong. I think you guys nailed it, because one side communicated better. That's one thing about Doug Armstrong that's been true all along. He's very direct. He's not dancing around anything. There's no difficulty, and I think people also give a little bit more forgiveness because there's a salary cap in hockey. And, once you're at it and you're kind of stuck, well, there isn't much else you can do. You can't just yell, spend more, because you can't.
Right. And yeah, I think I don't know if there's going to be a salary cap in baseball, but I'm not against it as long as there's a salary floor. And I actually think it'll help the Cardinals if there is a salary cap, because they get flogged all the time for not spending enough money, where in fact they've spent plenty of money. They've misspent a lot of money in recent years.
Mm-hmm.
So at least psychologically, the presence of a salary cap will, in my opinion, help at least some Cardinals fans put the focus on the right thing, which is intelligence and making smart moves and building a team properly, rather than trying to throw some money at a problem.
I don't know if there's ever going to be a salary cap in my lifetime. I know the demand for it and everybody's pushing for it. I would suspect we would lose like a full year of baseball before we would get to that. And like, I don't think that's going to happen. I think on the next labor negotiation, it's going to be just a rinse and repeat of what we've seen so many times, where they have the lockout, they miss some time in spring training. Eventually they get the deal done. Maybe they start spring training 3 weeks late. Maybe they start the season a week late, whatever it might be. But if it does turn into much more than that, that's probably the chance for the owners to go for the salary cap, if you have a legit chance of losing the season.
Yeah, the thing that, to me, with the whole conversation on caps and floors with baseball, is it doesn't matter if you don't have full revenue sharing, because if the cap is $300 million and the floor is 150, you still got $150 million difference between the top and the bottom, and that's a lot. So the reason it works in the NFL, the reason it works more in hockey and basketball, is they share more revenue. And this is about getting the Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox, and all those big money teams to play ball.
Yeah, and the team the Cardinals are going to be playing the next 3 days prove, for people like Matt who are skeptical about a salary cap, and I'm not saying I'm all in on a salary cap.
No, I get what you're saying.
I have an open mind. That's all.
Yeah.
But the team that has embarrassed the Cardinals yet again, the one that's at Busch Stadium this weekend. If people say, "Oh, baseball needs a salary cap," got to have a salary cap. I would say, politely or not so politely, shut up and look at the Milwaukee Brewers.
And yes, Bernie, and here, let's take that one step further, which is so incredibly important, because you'll ask a Cardinals fan, hey, would you rather be the Brewers or the Cardinals right now? And they'll say the Brewers. Do the Brewers have a commitment to winning? Yes. Well, they spend less money than the Cardinals. Oh, well, they spend money in other places. They've got lots of front office staff. They've got player development going. They've got all this infrastructure. Well, that's what the Cardinals are spending all this money on over the last couple of years, trying to do the same thing. Oh, well, that's not the same. Like it's they move the goalpost when they're assessing what's going on.
That's it. And they've actually committed even more money than they originally planned to this. I mean, one of the things that like Keith Law told Chris Ron and I Thursday, the Cardinals are beefing up their pro scouting.
Nice.
And they really believe Chaim Bloom really believes it's important, and the Cardinals haven't been doing it enough. So they're pouring money into that too. They're pouring money all over the place, but it's not good enough. You got an element of fans, I don't know how big it is. They'd rather see the Cardinals throw stupid money away on mediocre players as opposed to investing into their infrastructure and their player development system. The decline of which is the reason why they're in this spot to begin with.
Totally agree. All right, I got a baseball topic for you guys. I didn't tell you about this in advance. You may know the story about it, but the Marlins are doing something tonight that teams don't do. And I think it's an interesting topic to kick around, and it maybe can be something helpful for the Cardinals.
About that.
Yeah,
we'll
right.
That.
So we're going to kick this around. They're going to be calling pitches from the bench for the Marlins tonight, and nobody does this, but I'm going to lay out the case. I'm not necessarily for or against it, but I want to lay out the case, and we will all pass judgment. Come on up next.
Teams used to do this all the time. This is no revolutionary thing.
Well, lately they haven't for years, though.
Well,
now we've gotten into this point where we put cards in players' hats in the outfields to tell them where to play, but then it's hands off when it comes to calling pitches. We'll kick something else. Kick that around. I also want to throw you guys some things about Clayton Kershaw, too, because I think we can spend a few minutes on one of the great pitchers of all time, calling it a career. And then we got college football coming up later on the Redbird Rush Hour here on KMOX.
Real quick programming note. I am going to disconnect and then reboot because I'm having problems. No, I am with my
no worries.
So I don't worry when I log off here. I'll come right back.
We got you. We'll be right back with the Redbird Rush Hour here on KMOX.
This is James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. I am excited to announce the opening of Golden Oak Premier Realty. That means we're your one-stop shop for financing and buying your home. One team, one goal, your home. Not moving? Now is still the time. Your home's equity is higher than ever. And with our 4.5% mortgage rate, you could save over $1,000 every month. Use your equity to pay off high-interest credit cards, lower your monthly payment, or even skip 2 months of mortgage payments. And don't forget, if your loan doesn't close, we'll pay for your appraisal. We make the process fast and easy, often getting your cash in as little as 14 days. Whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing, call Golden Oak today and let us put our 25 years of experience to work for you. Call 314-567-GOLD.
Golden Oak Land Insured My Blues.
5.442 APR, FHA 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit, additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Frank, did you get the mail?
Coupon, Medicare, AARP. Oh, wait. This one says open immediately.
First one in the trash.
Every day we're bombarded with messages that we don't care about. Problem is, there might be an important message in there that affects you, like retirement. For example, on September 23rd and 25th, Steve All of the All Financial Group will be hosting a Taxes in Retirement seminar at Stone Summit. From the big beautiful bill to taxes on your Social Security, Steve will cover it. It's a complimentary event, but seating is limited, so reserve your seat today. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
What about this coupon for a new lawn service?
We live in a condo.
So?
On the 3rd floor. Mom always said I shouldn't have married you.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult a qualified professional or guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, eastbound 255, they're still working this crash at Lee May Ferry. A few minutes ago, all lanes were shut down because traffic was not moving at all. Every once in a while, it moves a little bit, but not much. I'd avoid the area if you can. Southbound 270 starts to bog down south of Gravois, and it jams approaching 55. And, of course, the 55 ramps getting onto eastbound 255 are backing up as well. That's no surprise. Eastbound 44 downtown, Jefferson up to the Poplars backed up from a recent crash. Westbound 44 backed up between the bridges. Westbound 64, slow stuff, Clayton, Skinker, McCausland area out in St. Charles County, Lake St. Louis out to 70. Southbound 170 bogs down at Delmar. South 270, both sides of Olive to Ladue around Manchester, approaching 44. Slow before you get into that big trouble down south. Eastbound 70, they're clearing a crash at Forestel. You're jammed at Wright City. It's slow westbound from Wentzville Parkway out into that Forestel area, by the way. If you're on southbound 55, it looks good in the city. Still some heavy stuff, primarily not to A and northbound of 55 approaching 67's backed up. Eastbound 70 ball game traffic, 5th Street into 270 and Hanley in through to about Jennings Station. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
This is the Redbird Rush Hour on 104.1 KMOX.
All right, Redbird Rush Hour on a Friday on KMOX. Bernie Miklasz, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you, hanging out, taking you up till 6 o'clock, 7:15 game tonight. So pregame's not until 6:20. And obviously the Cardinals starting the last home series to wrap up the homestand for the rest of the regular season. I want to get to the Kershaw stuff first, guys, because I think that's just historically significant and can be quick, maybe a little bit quicker. And we'll see where we are time-wise later on for the Marlins stuff or just college football in general. With the focus on the two local teams, too. But, Clayton Kershaw making his final start tonight at Dodger Stadium. He'll still be there for next week and into the postseason, all that. But he's retiring. Would you guys agree, like, not only one of the best of his time, but maybe one of the best of all time when you look at him compared to the era that he played? The only other starting pitcher that's as much better than the league average than he is in modern times was Pedro Martinez.
He's one of the all-time greats, man.
Yeah, I mean, so great.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of this era, let's say the last 20 years of Major League Baseball, he's right there, top 1, top 2, top 3. I mean, you can make the argument. It's been an incredible career. I know people like to put the caveat on that he has not had a dominant postseason run in his career. Okay, whatever. He's been fine in the postseason. He's had some bad moments in the postseason. I look more at what he's done over his total body of work, and it's first ballot Hall of Fame worthy.
Yeah, the question I'm wondering about, and I'm usually Mr. Research Nerd, but I wasn't on this today. It was a very, very busy day. Where does Kershaw fit when we talk about the best left-handed starters in baseball history? And it's always tough to compare eras, but there have been some great left-handed pitchers, and I'm not naming them in the order that I would put them or anything, but
right.
Randy Johnson, Lefty Grove, Warren Spahn, Steve Carlton, Eddie Plank. I mean, on and on, Sandy Koufax, on and on and on and on and on. And listen, he is in that elite group, whatever that elite group is. I named some of the guys. There are others. Tom Glavine, maybe, but Kershaw was better than Glavine.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He's one of the great lefties ever. I don't really care about his postseason record. I just don't, because there's lightning strikes, there's lightning bolts in postseason baseball. Is Anthony Reyes a better pitcher than Justin Verlander? Because no,
you're right.
But sometimes that's why baseball is great. In October craziness, Anthony Reyes can outpitched Justin Verlander in game 1 of the World Series in a way that's shocking to people.
Yeah.
Does that mean Verlander's a bum?
No.
So
yeah,
it's baseball.
I'm kind of if you have a great postseason track record, that's a great tiebreaker, right? Yeah. If you got two guys with similar careers, then I'll give you the edge if you've got the postseason thing too. But with guys like this, I mean, these are players that are almost incomparable. There aren't many like them. But here's the funny. I had to throw this in. I threw this at Ricky Horton earlier because I find this fascinating. Just doing my homework on Kershaw today and looking at where he ranks and all that kind of stuff. I was just looking at career win-loss percentage, which is really unfair because a lot of it's about who you play for. But it brought me to a name of Al Spalding, who has the greatest winning percentage in baseball history. Now, he pitched from 1871 until 1877. And this is what I just had to bring it up because this blew my mind. In 1874, Al Spalding threw 617 innings. He started 69 games. He won 52 games with a 192 ERA. But here's where I want to have fun with you guys. In 617 innings of work, how many strikeouts do you think Al Spalding had in 1874?
40.
I don't know, 70?
Matt, you're almost right. 31.
Okay.
His strikeouts per 9 was 0.5. And it's a fascinating. I love this stuff about baseball because it was different. At that time, the pitcher's job was to basically let the hitter hit it.
Yeah.
That was it. They just threw it over the plate. Breaking balls, I think, were still illegal then. But I mean, that's just they're nowhere near the same player. But if you look at a leaderboard, they're really like neck and neck, which is kind of hysterical. I love history nerd stuff like that. Couldn't help it. 31 strikeouts in 617 innings is pretty amazing.
How many walks?
18, I think it was.
Okay. All right. So 2-1 strikeouts.
It was 19. Yeah, 19 walks. Okay. This sport has such a history. Like nothing else compares in terms of the depth of history, right? As I think Dave Glover pointed out when I brought it up to Ricky, I think, what did he say that was? Like 5 years after the Civil War? That's how long ago that was. Pretty great.
And years and years ago, my dad produced a broadcast that Jack Buck did. It was a fake broadcast called The Greatest Game Never Played. And it aired on radio stations across the country, including on KMOX. And they put all these individuals from baseball history into a lineup and did a fake radio broadcast. And the computer back then, and this was I think it was in the 80s or the 90s. I think it ran in the 80s. The computer basically said how the game went. And it was really cool to be able to hear the great ones from the 30s playing right alongside the great ones with the 80s.
Good stuff. Good stuff. That's Bernie Miklasz, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here. Coming up on the other side of news, we got a whole lot more. In fact, we're going to get some football in here. Mizzou has a big game against South Carolina. Illinois has a bigger game against Indiana. We got some other showcase stuff we want to get to as well. Hang tight. Redbird Rush Hour kicks off again after the news here on KMOX.
Life's unpredictable and full of unknowns, but your vehicle shouldn't be. No one wants to face an unexpected repair that could derail their plans and budget. That's why we're introducing CarShield, the ultimate way to future-proof your ride. We're not just about fixing problems, we're about preventing financial surprises. You can get a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan designed to save you from out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Imagine driving with complete peace of mind, knowing that if something goes wrong, you'll pay almost nothing for covered repairs. Included in every plan is free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. This protection plan is at an all-time low, making it accessible to any driver. Don't wait for a breakdown to realize you need coverage. Invest in the future of your vehicle and your wallet today. Call CarShield now for your free quick quote. Call 800-908-8646. That's 800-908-8646. Future-proof your ride. Call CarShield now. 800-908-8646. 800-908-8646. Again, 800-908-8646.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. Football is back, thank goodness. And Underdog is the best place to select entries and win money all season long. You can play right now in Missouri, and playing on Underdog is easy. Just choose whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more during football season. There is nothing better. Download the app today and sign up with promo code TOM. That's really important important, promo code TOM to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code TOM. Millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms_DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
At 5:31, we've got sunshine 83 downtown. This news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
I ask that you say a prayer for the St. Louis Cardinal family.
Throwing out the first pitch at tonight's Cardinals-Brewers game is the daughter of former Cardinals pitcher Darryl Kile. Sierra Kile was 5 years old when her father died.
My mom and I were here back in June, and I met some of the players that my dad played with, and they were, telling me all sorts of memories and pointing out different areas of downtown that something happened with my dad and me as a 5-year-old, which was crazy to hear and not remember. But no, I don't remember a thing, but it still feels like home.
Darryl Kile, just like his father, died of a heart attack at the age of 33. She is partnering with Merck and Women Heart to raise awareness about the risk of elevated LDL cholesterol. And yes, she has been practicing her pitch and knows her family in the stands will be full of critiques.
He was alive, he was breathing, but he was not responsive.
In Jefferson County, a 15-year-old boy has serious burns to his body after a mobile home went up in flames. This was on Heatherwood Drive in Burns Mill at about 3 a.m. High Ridge Fire Chief John Barton says the fire is not being investigated as suspicious, but thinks they have a pretty good idea of where it started.
At this point, all we can really say is that it originated in his bedroom, and it appeared that he tried to extinguish it before retreating into the closet.
The teen's parents and 3 siblings, including an infant, were able to make it out before the flames rose higher. Spire has been getting a lot of calls about a rotten egg smell all over St. Louis County. They say they don't think it's natural gas, but mercaptan, which is put into the system for safety reasons. Spire says too much was used during regular maintenance, and now it's extremely odorific. They're trying to remedy the issue, but say you should take gas odors seriously. If you smell something, still remove yourself from the area and call Spire or 911. It wasn't your average car burglary in Ketchikan, Alaska.
At 5 a.m, police responded to a call of a car horn that kept going off outside an apartment building. Officer Luke Burkhalter had to wake up the SUV's owner.
This is a first for me, but there are 2 bears inside your car.
Police Chief Eric Mattson says they were sitting in the front seats.
Kind of like they were going for a joyride. Had they not been honking that horn, I think they'd have been stuck in there quite a bit longer.
The owner popped the hatchback open and the bears eventually climbed out.
Another happy ending.
Mattson says it's another reason to always lock your car doors. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
We could have a few showers overnight tonight with the low 65 degrees. Dave Murray says the main feature if you get under a storm is just going to be some gusty winds. For tomorrow, sunshine, spotty afternoon storms, but mostly dry, high 88. For tomorrow night, we could have some more storms, low 68. And for Sunday, high 83 degrees. Right now, downtown at the Arch, sun 83. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband, the internet provider in the Pauley household. I think you'd love it if you had them as well. We've got the 2 gig package at our home, 2 gig upload, 2 gig download mirrored, and we're spending less money than we did with the cable company for lesser service. Plus, right now, they've got savings over $400 beyond their already low standard pricing. You got questions? They've got answers. Call 877-976-0711, and they've got people there who can answer all your questions, or head to their website, i3broadband.com.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Let me tell you about this new pretzel cheddar club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with cherry berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
You're listening to the Redbird Rush Hour on 104.1 KMOX.
All right, Redbird Rush Hour. Bernie Miklasz, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler hanging out with you here. Time for a little college football. And as we've talked about for the last couple of weeks now, guys, I mean, the two teams in the area that we pay most attention to, Mizzou and Illinois, both off to great starts. I think important games for both. And I think both that Mizzou should win. Wouldn't shock me if Illinois did, although that's going to be a tough road game at Indiana. But, Bernie, we talked a little bit about South Carolina last week and talked about Vandy being a threat. Well, boy, they were more than a threat once Sellers went down, but it sounds like Sellers is going to play this weekend.
It's looking that way, and the betting action reflects that. I mean, it's now down to Mizzou being a favorite by 9.5. It was 13.5 earlier in the week because people believe that Lenore Sellers will be in there. If Sellers can play and hold up, the thing that he can do that makes him special. Look, he's an erratic thrower. He's not a great thrower. What he can do, though, he's the kind of quarterback that can keep your team in a game because not much is happening, and then all of a sudden he does something, and it's like an 80-yard touchdown, or it's a 65-yard play that sets up a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets his team to kind of hang in there by making a long run, throwing a long pass. The other thing is that South Carolina, I wonder about the Mizzou offensive line. I'm not entirely sold when I'm seeing Louisiana busting in on Bo Pribula with slot blitzes and things that should be picked up. South Carolina's got a really good defensive line.
They do,
with Stewart, who's a heck of a pass rusher. This will be a real test, the biggest test Mizzou's faced. So that's a thing. And the other thing I would look at, because I think Mizzou will win the game, but I'm just sort of playing the role of like, okay, what does South Carolina have to do? So I mentioned a couple things. The other thing is that this is a prime motivation spot for Shane Beamer, and I will be stunned if he does not hit Mizzou up for like 2 or 3 trick plays, because he's known he makes very effective use of trick plays.
Yes, he does.
So he'll be trying to mess Mizzou up with these big surprises. So we'll see. It ought to be great. Mizzou's clearly got the better team, but it doesn't mean that, if South Carolina can hang around and Beamer's got those things in his pocket that he can surprise Mizzou with, it could get kind of treacherous, but I think Mizzou will win and cover. I do.
All right, go ahead, Matt.
I think Mizzou wins. I would say that I wish they wouldn't have lost South Carolina. I wish they wouldn't have lost to Vanderbilt last weekend. I feel better about this game if South Carolina wouldn't be coming off a Vanderbilt loss at home.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, we're going to keep that up. And I agree with you guys, by the way. I think Mizzou wins. It's just one to keep track of. It could be interesting if Sellers make some big plays. Let's do a quick hit of traffic, and we'll talk about Illinois, Indiana. And Captain Roger Brand will let us know what's going on in and around St. Louis.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, things are still a mess in South County, Kevin, because eastbound 255, at last check, it's still closed at Lee May Ferry. So you can get off at Lee May Ferry, and that's what everybody's doing, and that's jamming all the secondaries around there. But traffic's just barely moving South County. If you're on South 270, it's a little busy Olive de Ladue. It's slow approaching Gravois, but pretty much from Gravois all the way down, it's just crawling on southbound at 270. Northbound 55, the right lanes are bogged down back up Butler Hill, trying to get up into that area. It's a little busy. Union Road up through Bayless as well. That's some ballgame traffic. Downtown eastbound 44 still a jam. Jefferson past the Poplar. We had a crash near Walnut earlier. Eastbound 64, some heavy stuff. Lindbergh in through the Interbelt. South 170 bogs down at Delmar. Westbound 64 just kind of slow. Science Center to Clayton Skinker and approaching Prospect. Out west, eastbound 70 still backed up at Wright City. Slow into Forestel. There's slow traffic eastbound 70, 5th Street to 270, and from 170 to at least Lucas Hunt. If you're traveling on the runs through downtown. Otherwise, it looks like good shape for Illinois drivers at least. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
All right, back in on the Redbird Rush Hour, talking about the Illinois-Indiana game. And it's interesting, guys. I mean, we all know how big a deal home field advantage is in college football. We also know that the rankings early in the year are not always that representative, because a lot of it's just based on what people thought of your team before the year. But Illinois is the number 9 team, Indiana number 19, and Indiana's favored by almost a touchdown at this point at 6.5. No disrespect to our buddy Tom Ackerman. I'm not straight up saying this is an automatic Illinois win, but I really like them this weekend. I think they're in good position. You laid out some really interesting facts about them earlier, Bernie, on DGS, and I completely agree with you. And while I do not think this is automatic or easy, I'm leaning Illinois.
Yeah, I am too. And there's a couple reasons, and I'll try to be quick here. First of all, the roster continuity, and they bring back like 17 starters from last year, and a lot of them are on defense. And they are a beautiful version of a Brett Bielema coach team. They are nasty. They are physical. They never stop hitting you. And it's funny, Billy, because at Duke, and I think this is kind of a similar test, because Duke, people were buzzing about Duke early in the season, and Illinois went there, and they were like not all that hot early, but they just kept pounding on Duke, pounding on Duke, pounding on Duke, and then all of a sudden it's turnovers and Illinois pulls away. Indiana has not faced a defense of this toughness and caliber in a long time, and this offensive line at Indiana is going to be in for a tough day. I love Illinois' balanced offense. They can run it on you and beat you up. They can pass it. Altmaier's a really good quarterback. And the last time that Indiana faced teams that were really, really good and really, really physical and really, really strong, they got blown out by Ohio State and Notre Dame. So again, my friend Tom Ackerman, you can give me a hard time if I'm wrong, but I really like Illinois in this game.
I mean, Illinois played somebody. I know Duke didn't have a great weekend this past weekend, but Duke's a good team, and they went and they rolled there. Western Michigan is not a slouch. They rolled against them. We don't know anything about Indiana except we know the players who are on the team who've done things previously.
Right.
But Old Dominion is the best team that they've played this year, and actually Old Dominion kept it kind of tight. Kennesaw State, Indiana State, and I'm not against this kind of scheduling. I went to Kansas State. I watched Bill Snyder schedule like this on an every year basis. I get
I think it's called the Snyder.
Yeah. But when you have these early season games where you're facing off against a good team for the first time, it's really hard to handicap it. I think on paper, Illinois is a better team than Indiana.
I think so. And I look at Bill Conley's SP Plus ratings, and he's got them pretty close together in terms of their power rating. But you just got to look a little closer and look, contrast the experience, not just experience, but we're talking about really important players, like players who have shown they can hit you in the mouth enough times to where you start to back away.
Yeah.
And that's what Illinois has.
It's just I'm glad that these are two schools that are finally good. We could also, by the way, call this the most boring drive bowl, because if you've ever driven through Illinois and Indiana, it is the most boring drive in the world. And I'm sorry, no insult. They're great places. They're great places, but man, I made that drive through them both. It's boring. There's not a lot going on there. But I've been waiting for a long time for Illinois to find some footing, and maybe maybe it's just getting the right guy, as you mentioned, Bern, getting a guy that can do what's necessary where you are, because you're not far from Chicago. You've got St. Louis right down the road, and you've got all Indianapolis is right down the road. There's some ground there that you can pull from, and I think that it's finally come together.
Bielema's listen. This is in his wheelhouse. Listen, he left Wisconsin where he was great. And the SEC didn't work out so well.
Right.
But if there is such thing as an old school, classic, smart, tough Big Ten coach who knows every cornfield and every small town in like 5 states, it's Bielema. And he is like a ideal coach for Illinois football because he knows exactly what the kind of team you got to build to win.
Yeah.
I was talking with Brian Barnhart, their play-by-play guy, yesterday on Sports Open Line, and he told me that when the Bielema staff came in, Bielema and everybody else called every high school football coach in the state of Illinois, everything from 8-man to the biggest high schools in the area, and they keep communication with every high school football coach in Illinois at all times. And go look at that roster. That border has closed down a little bit, and it's not just Chicago; it's Central Illinois, it's Southern Illinois. They're doing a really good job of recruiting a state that produces a good amount of Division I talent.
Yeah,
I had Bielema on the show at KFNS when I was there, and this is just as he was taking over. And I said, Coach, I hear you like to get out there and recruit, and you get in your car and you just go and go and go. And he said something to the effect, he made me giggle on the air. He said, listen, before, as I'm building this football team, he said, I'm going to hit, you'll see me at some point in every Huck store in like 5 states. He said, I'll be the guy out in the parking lot with like a big, huge cola, and like 5 hot dogs and some fried chicken. That'll be me. I'll be sitting in my SUV.
Yeah.
I can give you, he said, I'll give you a scouting report in every Huck store there is in like 5 states. So he's the best, man. I love this dude.
He knows that boring drive. I can tell you that.
Yeah, he does. He does.
All right, we got one more segment to go. Bernie Miklasz, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler here. I want to hit you guys up for the other games this weekend that you're interested in. That could be college or pro. Whatever you guys want to do, we'll hit some more football coming up next here on KMOX.
Hey, this is Debbie Monterey, and some of you may know that I moved my mother to St. Louis about a year ago because she's aging and I needed to help her with day-to-day things, including getting her estate planning together. I recently met with the folks at Jansky Law. Martin Jansky is an elder law attorney, and that's exactly what he does. Everything from your power of attorney to advanced estate planning, including probate. Maybe you have your estate documents completed, but a nursing home could be in the future for you or a loved one. Jansky Law can help with pre-crisis and nursing home planning as well. Martin Jansky has 30 years of experience, young or old, no matter what your age. If you love your family and want to make sure that your wishes happen or help them ensure theirs do, call Jansky Law at 314-881-6141 or online at janskylaw.com. That's with a J, Jansky law.com. Again, Jansky law.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement.
Are moles tearing up your yard? Don't let these lawn invaders turn your beautiful property into a mess. Rottler Pest Solutions offers professional mole control services to protect your lawn from damage. Visit Rottler.com today to schedule your free inspection.
Big news! Golden Oak is now your one-stop shop with Golden Oak Premier Realty and Golden Oak Lending. Buy, sell, or refinance and save thousands.
Golden Oak Landing, join my blues.
NMLS 114937.
Looking for a place to call home without all the maintenance? Check out the Towns of Linneman Park, new townhomes by Lombardo, located in St. Peters. These new construction townhomes are located on the south side of 36494, east of Harvester Road, and offer floor plans featuring 2 to 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, a loft, and 2-car attached garages. Community amenities include a clubhouse, pool, pickleball courts, dog park, and walking trails. Tour our newly decorated display and fall in love with your new townhome.
home. Visit LombardoHomes.com for more information.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, better news for South County drivers. More traffic is getting through now. It's starting to finally move eastbound 255 through Limay Ferry, so it looks like they have a couple of lanes open. But if you're on South 270, it is still a solid jam from just south of Gravois all the way down to that point. Lindbergh southbound from Tesson Ferry down to Limay Ferry is a solid mess. The secondaries are pretty tough around there as folks bailed out of the highway. North 55, the right lanes are bogged down coming up through Butler Hill. It's also a little slow approaching Rivas and Bayless Weber area. Downtown eastbound 44 jam Jefferson over to the Poplar because of a recent crash. Westbound 64 Science Center headed out through Clayton Skinkers. Busy ball game traffic eastbound 64 Lindbergh through to Big Bend. South 170 bogs down south of Delmar. Eastbound 70 ball game traffic still kind of slow in a couple of spots between Earth City and the Rock Road, and from Hanley into about Lucas Hunt. East of westbound 70 around Wentzville Parkway Highway Z are also a little bit crowded, and it looks like eastbound 70 still has a little bit of a delay coming into Wright City. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
You're listening to the Redbird Rush Hour on 104.1 KMOX.
All right, 2 minutes left in the Redbird Rush Hour. Bernie, Miklasz, Matt, Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you guys. All right, you guys can probably guess which of the other games I'm into this weekend. If you're watching on the stream, you could probably see which of the games I'll be into for the weekend with the Canes hosting the Gators. What else are you guys interested in for the weekend? I'm not at the point yet where I'm circling NFL games. It's just, I like to let it build a little bit. I mean, I'm circling Monday Night Football because in addition to being a Canes fan, I am a Lions guy, and I'm pretty sure they're going to lose to the Ravens on Monday Night Football, but I'm open to the possibility that they could pull that one off. What are you guys watching this weekend?
Just since you mentioned the NFL, there's a lot of money, and this reflects that this is a huge game because there's a ton of money coming in on the Los Angeles Rams playing at Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
This could be an NFC championship preview. It really could. Title game preview. And the Rams, normally known for their great offense with Sean McVay, they have a nasty defense, really nasty. They're only allowing like 4.3 yards per play, and they just look like they have an answer for everyone. So I think they can go in there and beat Philadelphia, but I haven't decided whether I would wager that way. But I think it's a great matchup, and I'm excited by it.
That game and then the Monday night game with the Ravens and the Lions, I think, are clearly the two best games in the NFL this weekend. A couple college football games. I don't totally buy Oklahoma. I'm really curious what they're going to look like against Auburn this weekend.
That's a good one, yeah.
And I also think Michigan might go to Nebraska and lose.
That's a good one.
Those are the games that I kind of have circled this
Dylan
weekend.
Raiola is really fun.
He is. I think Michigan's one of these teams that's, frankly, just kind of living based on what they did 2 years ago.
Totally agree.
The other thing, I agree with Matt. Auburn and at OU, I love the build up on this because it's like, Jason Arnold's going to go back to Oklahoma and where they basically hated him, and then he fled to Auburn and all that stuff. He's going to get his revenge. Listen. One thing Brent Venables can do is he can scheme any quarterback you want to put in front of his defense, okay? So I'm not into this, oh boy, Hugh Freeze, he's got the quarterback, Jason Arnold, revenge game. Please, you need to bring more to the fight than that, okay? So we'll see. I just hope it's a great game. Mm-hmm. I probably won't be able to watch it anyway because of, the other games I want to watch more.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think there's a lot of good ones this weekend as far as that's concerned. I think that I think Notre Dame blows out Purdue. I know that's a little bit of a rivalry, and I know they're favored by 25 or something like that. Notre Dame is probably going to have a nice run here for about the next 2 months.
What one little game that I think is really interesting because Memphis is a really good football team.
Yeah.
And they're getting 7.5 at home against Arkansas. I'm sorry. I mean, that one's crying. Hey Bernie, come to Papa, come to Papa.
I may follow you on that one.
That spread's way too big for the home team.
I may follow you on that one.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I kind of like that. That's some interesting stuff. All right, boys, another good week. We appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Enjoy all the games. Enjoy the last weekend of baseball at Busch Stadium for the year. We'll be looking forward to talking about that on Monday as well, and then getting ready for the final week of the regular season. We'll do some playoff baseball here, too, even though it won't include the local 9. We'll still talk a little playoff baseball in addition to everything else that's going on. So you guys have a great weekend. Bernie, Miklasz, Matt, Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you
Love
here.
you guys.
Bernie is back on Monday. Matt will be back in a few minutes because he's got pregame starting at 6:20 with the first pitch at 7:15 here on KMOX.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. You know, when you go to the Audiology Center, you'll see a doctor of audiology.